Disclaimer. The following is a true crime-style dramatization of pre-existing fictional media. The rights to said media belong to their respective rights holders, and any resemblance to persons living or dead not stated in the original media is merely coincidental, and honestly, would be pretty wild.
Hello and welcome back to Real Strange Tales, where we delve into the strange, violent, mysterious, and macabre tales that take place in our real world. I'm your host and narrator, Mike Howes, aka Slaughterhouse.
And I am also your host, Cody McLaughlin, a.k.a. Ho-Ho-Hody McStockin.
Oh, you're already in the spirit then.
I'm already in the spirit and already in the spirits.
What do you mean?
I brought eggnog.
Is there booze in it?
You think I'd drink just eggs? Maybe we aren't best friends.
So you're getting drunk while we record.
Look, man, I'm really sorry about what I said a minute ago. Of course we're best friends.
I'll take that as a yes, but go easy on it, alright? We're talking about a big one today.
Yeah? The guy in the attic?
Nope.
The little psycho kid with the crush on his babysitter?
Maybe next year.
Then what are we talking about?
Well, we're doing something a little different. Instead of detailing the definitive event of a certain serial killer, we're going to provide a brief breakdown of who he is and what he's done, then go into an event from their childhood that set them down that path.
That sounds kind of complicated for someone in my state of mind.
You want to hang out for a bit so you can sober up?
What? No, I wasn't talking about drinking, just like who I am generally. Whatever, it'll be fine. Who is this mystery man?
You already mentioned he's someone who creeped you out in another episode.
Howie Mandel?
I kind of set that one up, but that's my fault.
Oh, thank God. My heart wouldn't be able to take it. Is it Grimcuddy?
Man, I thought you'd let the Grimcuddy thing go after the last episode.
You listened to the last episode? Oh my God, that's so sweet.
Of course I listened to it.
Wait, for me or for Amanda?
Because it's my show. And also, I love you both.
Oh, good. But you're right. I'll stop bringing up Grimcuddy. So, it's someone I talked about before. Oh, Kevin McCallister.
That's the one.
Oh, I'm ready for this one. I hope I can stay awake.
In 2021, a Chicago small business owner named John Mead allowed a local homeless man by the name of Patrick Fitzgerald to sleep on a cot inside of a storage shed on the lot behind his store whenever the temperature dropped. Fitzgerald often deterred vandalism or theft from passers-by and cleaned up after himself, so it felt like a fair exchange to Mead.
I mean, this is very nice of him, but being homeless shouldn't be a thing.
I do not disagree.
But instead, we have a bunch of empty houses owned by dipshits with a fetish for lording control over people through land. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I mean, you were pretty cryptic about it, but if I had to guess, I'd say you're talking about landlords?
Landlords!
On December 25th, though the store was closed, Mead returned to his store to gather cleaning supplies from his storage shed to prepare his house for a holiday get-together.
So he's just stealing from the business for his personal use?
Well, it's his business, and I assume since he traded a homeless guy a place to sleep for cleaning up, he had few to no employees.
Damn, I was gonna say that was badass.
No, I think everything belongs to him regardless.
After gathering the cleaning products and putting them into his car, John felt a strange urge to check the actual store just to be safe. So he approached the front door of the building and put the key into the lock.
That's a solid way of entering a building, and often the same way I accomplish the task.
John Mead was shocked at what he found. Patrick Fitzgerald's body. Recovered security footage revealed that Patrick had entered the store to confront someone who had picked the lock on the back door and left it open. Upon entering, his foot was caught in a bear trap, which he struggled to drag across the floor to an aisle where he steadied himself on a shelf, but realized his hand was bonded with hot glue before a paint can hung from a chain on the ceiling dropped and hit him in the face.
What paint color?
Revere pewter.
Oh.
What?
I was doing that thing where I ask a specific question nobody cares about and then giving you shit for not knowing that detail.
I knew you would, and I was ready for you.
What brand was the bear trap?
Um,
Got you, bitch.
The impact of the paint can knocked Patrick back, but his hand stuck to the shelf kept him from hitting the ground. Bleeding from his forehead into his eyes, he struggled back up and pulled the shelf from the rack it was attached to. He blindly trudged forward, dragging the bear trap attached to his leg, until he stepped into a pile of nails turned upright that pierced his other foot.
What the hell, man?
yeah, this is utterly brutal and cruel.
Just stab people like normal people. Damn.
The nails were long enough to exit the other side of his foot and make him fall. The surrounding area was lined with machete blades that took his head off, leaving his headless corpse in the middle of the floor. Security footage preceding that event revealed that a man in a ski mask had entered the store by picking a lock. He took just over an hour setting his traps before placing the bear trap at the back door and leaving it open for Patrick to notice.
There's so many other people he could have done this to. Patrick seemed cool. He cleaned up, he watched out, he slept in a cot. Those are like the three coolest things anyone can do besides subscribing to the channel and liking this video.
This MO lined up with several in Chicago and surrounding areas, all taking place on Christmas Eve for well over a decade. Someone would be killed by an elaborate trap and left to be found on Christmas Day. In all other instances, the security footage was erased, destroyed, or stolen by the time the body was found. But in this instance, John Meade arrived to his store earlier than expected and caught the assailant in the act of accessing the footage. Meade managed to overpower him and was revealed to be Kevin McCallister, a security company CEO and the son of a wealthy couple from the Chicago area. Meade overpowered McCallister, leading to the arrest of the menace who had been dubbed the Christmas Eve-Iscerator.
Terrible man. Terrible man. But cool fucking name.
I do think it's kind of interesting, though. Usually in these kinds of people model their actions around a holiday, they act on that holiday. Only in the surrounding days of, like, get where they need to go or, get supplies. But the main focus is the holiday itself, like Michael Myers or the John Carver killer from this year. But McCallister did the deed on Christmas Eve and left the bodies to be found on Christmas Day.
Like a present?
Like a present.
I just pieced that together. But I would rather have Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for PS5.
That does sound like a better gift than a corpse.
No, Mike, I was winking and hinting at you.
In the pages of his recently released best-selling book, he's revealed much about his past, including his friendship with a former president, a trip to New York as a child, and the incident we'll delve into today, which was the start of his obsession with traps that he had kept from his parents until present day.
I haven't told my parents about when I got obsessed with the traps either.
What?
We're not talking about the same kind of traps, are we?
How many eggnogs have you had, man?
An omelet's worth.
Alright, well,
You said a former president?
Yeah, that'll actually factor in a bit later.
Is it Peanut Boy Jimmy Carter?
No.
It's never Jimmy Carter.
You literally referenced which president it was in a different episode.
Look, I was trying to change the subject, and I did. Clear your throat and dance for me, narration Yeti.
On December 21st, 1990, the Chicago area experienced a spree of home robberies at the hands of a duo known as the Wet Bandits, who in reality were Harry Lime and Marv Merchants.
I have a question.
They're called the Wet Bandits because when they rob a house, they leave the water running as a calling card.
Oh, that's adorable. Unless nobody is going to be home in like 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah, I hyperboled too much. Like 5 days?
Agreed, but hey, look at the bright side. Your shit won't get damaged in the flood because the Wet Bandits already stole your shit.
Oh, that's true. I honestly don't know if I'd be more or less mad in that case.
At the McCallister household, the crown jewel home of the neighborhood, Father Peter, Mother Kate, and their 5 children, Buzz, Megan, Lenny, Jeff, and the then 8-year-old Kevin, had several members of their extended family over in preparation for their morning trip to the airport to depart for their holiday vacation to Paris.
Oh, man. That's that many family members? Ooh, I'd lose my shit.
It is a lot of guests.
Even without guests. God, 5 kids?
How many siblings do you have?
How many do I have?
You have 2 brothers and a sister, right?
Yeah, that's 2 brothers. That's 3, man.
Plus you.
Yeah, so 4. And that was annoying as hell. And their situation is 1 kid worse.
Well, this family was apparently more loaded than a baked potato, so maybe that helped.
They'd have to be. That's a lot of mouths to feed. And it's also a lot of confidence you'd have to name one of your kids Buzz.
You think Buzz is a weird name?
Not for an old man. Like a fun uncle that shows up to your house with a trunk full of fireworks in the middle of November. But old men have to be babies at some point, and that's weird.
Now that you mention it, it does seem weirder bunched in with the 4 normal names.
Yeah, meet my kids. Peter, Carlos, Janny, Peter, and Clip Clop.
You said Peter twice.
They're twins. Someone better get the pumpkin eater. Pew, pew, pew.
The commotion of the family gathering kept them distracted from noticing Harry Lime posing as a cop, casing the house, figuring out the entry points, and mentally bookmarking items to come back for later.
That's how I know this happened in the 90s. A cop is snooping around and they're just like, oh, that's a cop snooping around. Everything's fine.
A lot of history hadn't happened yet.
A lot of history hadn't happened yet. I'm getting that on the back of a pair of sweatpants.
A full-on family argument resulted in Kevin being forced to sleep in the attic for the night, as his family enjoyed pizza and Pepsi downstairs before going to bed.
They forced the 8-year-old to sleep in the attic? No wonder this kid snapped.
See, I reached the same conclusion as you, but I took a different road to get there.
Oh, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I was going to say this made him snap, but because they stocked the house with Pepsi.
Really, Mike?
What?
You're really gonna blame this on Pepsi. Jealousy isn't a good look on you.
What?
You're jealous of how much time I spend with Pepsi, so you take every chance you get to tear it down. It's pathetic. Just like when you get all jealous of Sarah. All 3 of you are part of my life, and you have to accept that.
1, I was making a joke because I don't like Pepsi. 2, is that what you're going to list as the 3rd in the trinity of loved ones in your life? A soda? And 3, I've never been jealous of Sarah for spending time with you. I have, however, been jealous of the willpower and fortitude she must possess to deal with you every day.
She's a little sweetie, and green isn't a great color on you, Mike. That was a simile. I actually think green is very flattering on you.
Thanks.
We're so cute.
Due to the way he was singled out and punished, Kevin told his mother that he wished he never had to see any of his family again before retiring to the attic where he'd be spending his night.
So far, dude is making solid points. Like he has to sleep in the attic? You know what I keep in my attic? Nothing. Because I'm afraid to go up there. So they're basically telling this kid that he's nothing.
Well, like I said, they're loaded, so it seems likely that the attic was at least furnished. However, as far as Kevin's story goes, he just says, they made me sleep in the attic, so.
On the morning of December 22nd, Kevin awoke to discover his family was gone.
Oh, man. His wish came true?
No, well, I mean, not literally. It wasn't like magically granted.
Of course not literally. How little do you think of me?
Alright, my bad. I am sorry.
It's okay. I kinda did believe it until I saw your Cody did some dumb shit face.
His family would later blame it on the sheer number of people spread across the 2 shuttles rushing to the airport and a missing plane ticket, meaning they were not stopped at any point between their house and their arrival in Paris, long enough to notice that Kevin was missing.
They made it all the way to Paris without realizing he was at his house by himself?
Yeah, they didn't notice the slightest hint one of their children wasn't there.
Do you think they saw the signs and just hoped he'd wander off when he was in his dwelling without his family?
It's possible, but Kevin himself has stated that he didn't feel an inkling until after this series of events, so.
If they made a movie about this, you know what they would call it? at my house and lonesome.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Kevin believed that his wish had come true. He really had wished his family away. This seemed easier to accept to the child than his family leaving him behind to go on vacation.
Oh, this poor kid. I know what he ends up doing, but I'm absolutely on his side up until this point.
The worry quickly turned to excitement as Kevin ran through the house, accessing the bedrooms of siblings he was usually punished for entering, eating junk food, playing with his brother's BB gun, and watching R-rated movies.
Aside from the siblings part, that's what I do most days. Having an adult home rules.
Alright, the junk food and R-rated movies I get, but you play with your brother's BB gun?
Yeah, he doesn't even know I took it. Want me to go get it?
Cody, I wouldn't trust you with a BB gun sober.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But if you change your mind.
It was on the plane that Kevin's parents realized he was gone.
They left that little jerk behind? A damn freak.
As night fell, the wet bandits prepared to initiate their plan to rob the neighborhood of temporarily vacant houses. Aside from the McCallisters, they had pegged 4 houses as targets.
I do gotta hand it to them. They're efficient. Wait until they can hit 5 houses. They're good.
Keep in mind they are robbing families on Christmas.
Robbing rich families on Christmas while they were vacationing out of the country.
As the wet bandits approached the McCallister house, Kevin scared them off by turning on the back porch light, making them believe someone was home.
Someone was home.
I mean, like an adult.
You didn't say that.
Okay.
You're not gonna argue with me?
Nope.
Why? Is it because of what I said about you earlier?
What'd you say about me earlier?
Oh shit, that was before you were here.
What did you say about me?
Don't worry about it.
Alright, so, anyway, yeah. Light turned on, they left.
I would have just shouted, I am a child and I am by myself.
Why do you think that would help?
That's like considerably worse charges than breaking and entering. No, sir. No antique candelabra is worth that skid on my record.
Kevin spent the night cowering under a bed before deciding that now was the time to work on overcoming his fears.
In general, that would sound badass. But knowing what I know, uh-oh!
Kate called her home's local police station in an attempt to have someone visit her son, and in what they call a hasty and diligent response, the police sent an officer to visit the house, but Kevin was too afraid to answer, fearing it was the bandits at the door.
I thought he decided to give up on fear.
It's not instantaneous. He decided to overcome his fear and he's working on it. It's not like he was just going to not be afraid of something forever. Like, he's working on himself.
Sounds like bitch talk.
Let me put it in terms more relatable to you, okay? So, you woke up today.
I didn't sleep. You know I don't sleep, baby
right.
girl.
So, you saw the sun rise today and decided you were going to get blasted before recording our Christmas special and ruin it, right?
Hell yeah.
So did you just immediately swallow all of the eggnog, or did you pace yourself so that you could keep disappointing me throughout the day? You drinking again? Alright, this is getting ridiculous.
Okay, no. Yeah, I get you completely. Good for him.
It smells bad.
On the day of the 23rd, Kevin spent his time playing the events of the previous day over in his head, planning what he would have done if he had had his awareness and current resolve the night before.
Eat their faces, I bet.
I don't believe he's ever participated in cannibalism.
But, yes, but, if he could get away with it.
Yeah, that wasn't his thing, man.
Little chompa chompa.
Kevin also snuck out into the world to get another toothbrush, which was packed away in his luggage that went with his parents to Paris.
Aw, dude is taking care of his teeth. What a good kid, trying to brush out all the people chunks.
He doesn't eat people, and he hasn't hurt anyone yet.
Like I'm gonna test the trustimony of a cannibal.
Test the trustimony?
Oh my god, get over yourself.
Kevin ran out of the store without paying for the toothbrush, drawing the attention of a cop he easily escaped.
Oh, I remember my first theft.
Yeah, when was that?
This morning at the liquor store.
How'd that go?
Dude, when you edit this, that sounds incriminating. Can you just take that out?
You edit these, man.
Oh, yeah. I'll do it. Okay.
On the walk home after slipping the officer, Kevin realized that he was now a criminal, but not a single person he encountered knew who he was. He got chills from the rush as the urge began to sink its claws into him.
Jesus.
Is that what you felt earlier?
No, I just felt like enthusiasm?
Are you going to do it again?
Absolutely not.
Your conscience got to you? You felt bad?
No, I had to run and my knees hurt.
Before making it back to his house, Kevin spotted the wet bandits leaving the home of one of the McCallister's neighbors that they had just robbed. He made note of their faces, and the gears in his head began turning.
This kid had gears in his head?
Can you just like...
I had nickels in my stomach once. My mom tried to pay the stomach pump bill with the stuff they took out of me.
Can you stop drinking until we finish this?
Are we done recording?
No?
Then no.
Returning to his home, Kevin began planning for his next visit from the wet bandits. He rigged an elaborate contraption that made it look as if his family was actively moving in the window, buying himself another night.
Like, corpses dressed like his family?
No, like cardboard cutouts and clothes on dummies and whatnot behind the curtain.
So shadow puppets.
In a way, yeah.
Just say shadow puppets, big dog.
A pizza guy was called to the house and scared off by another one of Kevin's trap ideas, loudly playing audio of select clips from a VHS copy of the classic gangster film, Angels with Filthy Souls.
Oh my god. I love that movie. Merry Christmas, you nasty slut.
I think it's Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
That's the quote, yeah.
And we don't slut shame. Everyone get theirs. Good for you.
Hell yeah, baby.
For our listeners, Cody is doing finger guns in a reassuring manner.
Hell yeah, baby.
He's still using the finger guns.
Pew, pew, pew.
On the morning of Christmas Eve, Kevin went about pretending to live like an adult and overcoming his fear of the talking furnace he hallucinated in his basement.
Wait, what? Mike,
Yeah,
why aren't you saying anything?
you said wait.
I also said what?
True?
Elaborate.
Oh, he hallucinated an evil talking furnace in his basement.
Oh, did you mention that before?
Nope.
Why not?
Wasn't super relevant before.
So he thought his furnace was alive and evil?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was mentally unwell and even more obviously a kid, so it's
I
understand...
thought I was the only one.
What?
I'm on to you! I swear!
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, Kevin's mother, who rushed onto the first flight she could, landed in Scranton.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
What the hell was that?
The theme music from The Office.
No, it wasn't.
She hitched a ride with a polka band that promised to drop her off on the way.
Why not call an Uber?
Because this happened over 30 years ago.
Oh, a Lyft?
Over 30 years ago.
A fucking taxi?
It was Christmas Eve.
Got it. One more thing.
Polka is a music genre.
Oh.
It's also a kind of dance.
Ooh, can you show me a move?
No,
Why not?
I don't know any.
Oh, I thought you were self-conscious about your dance skills, and I was gonna try to encourage you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Anytime, man.
Marv once again approached the back door. Kevin used the audio clips of the gangster film and set off firecrackers inside of a metal bowl to scare him off. It worked.
To imitate gunfire?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if maybe he was, like, super attached to this metal bowl and you just neglected to tell me, like, the furnace thing.
No, Marv did not bring a special bowl that he had an emotional attachment to with him, no.
Okay.
Kevin overheard the two deciding that they knew Kevin was alone, but they'd return at 9 p.m. for their last stand.
These guys are a little too eager to fight this kid. But between me and you, I'd swing at them too.
Kevin ventured out of the house to enjoy his last few free hours before the showdown.
This little bastard heard they were going to come back and then he left?
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a smart idea. I guess what I'm saying is he heard when they were coming, bailed, and went back?
Yeah.
Kevin found a Santa Claus impersonator and asked him to ask his boss, the real Santa, to return his family.
We lucked out, Mike, didn't we?
With our families loving us? I mean, I guess so, yeah. That's a good positive message for Christmas time.
No, that our local mall was the one with the real Santa, and we went for his meet and greets.
Cody.
I'm just kidding, Jesus, how little do you think of me?
Alright, I'm sorry.
No, for real, could you make me a pie chart about how much you believe in me?
No.
After one final meal of microwavable macaroni and cheese, Kevin McCallister was ready for war.
Oh, that gave me chills.
What would be your pre-battle meal? Like, I'd probably have like a big-ass steak or like a bowl of peanut butter.
Poison.
Poison?
Yeah, dude, I'm not fighting a whole damn battle. I'll swing on a kid, but I'm not fighting a battle.
Harry and Marv approached the house once more, claiming to be Santa.
I have some feedback.
Yeah, hit me.
Not for you, BB. You were perfect.
Oh, for the robbers trying to intimidate the child?
Yeah, them. Just for the record, Santa is one guy. I know the appearing at multiple malls thing can be quite confusing for some of us, but he's just one guy. He's not like the Easter Bunny, you fuck.
Kevin, however, stuck his brother's BB gun through the doggy door and shot Harry in the crotch.
Oh my god, do you think Sarah would let me get a doggy door?
No.
Oh, because we don't have a doggy?
And because I don't think you're going to ask her without mentioning that you want it for the express purpose of shooting people in the dick with a BB gun.
Yeah, that's a good point. Slurp.
What was that?
I was going to take a drink for emphasis, but I don't know where I sat my cup.
Marv poked his head into the doggy door and caught a pellet between the eyes.
What the shit did he think was going to happen? He's not a dog.
Now enraged, Harry declared he would take the front door and told Marv to head down the stairs in the back of the house to the basement door.
Let's split up, gang. Scooby-Doo ass robbers.
What would you have done?
Going home.
Kevin had hosed down both sets of stairs, causing them to ice over in the cold Chicago winter air. Both men fell painfully to the ground.
Alright, that one is actually hilarious.
You thought the last two were hilarious.
Yeah, it turns out this kid is hilarious.
Marv made his way into the basement, fumbling through the darkness before finding the light bulb hanging from the ceiling and yanking the chain. But it turned out to be a single bulb tied to a clothing iron resting at the top of the laundry chute, pulling it down atop his face.
I am Iron Man.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Harry struggled up the front steps and reached for the knob of the front door. However, Kevin had placed a heating element around it from the other side. The knob reached temperatures high enough to permanently burn the letter M into his hand, as well as send him tumbling back down the stairs.
The letter M?
Yeah, like McCallister.
But how did this kid, like, Mark of Zorro him?
Oh, right. Guess I should have mentioned the doorknob had a fancy M design engraved onto the front of it. Once more I left something out, my bad.
When the hell would you have mentioned that?
Marv climbed the interior basement stairs, which he discovered had been covered in roofing tar. The tar stripped him of his shoes and socks before he stepped on a large, upturned nail that Kevin had stuck through one of the higher steps.
Man, I hate feet. The only thing I hate more than feet is bad things happening to feet.
You hate them, but you hate seeing bad things happen. That makes you complex and compassionate.
No, it means I'm squeamish, you big creep.
With Kevin distracted elsewhere, Harry ran back around the house and opened the back door, but tripped a cord attached to a blowtorch aimed at the door, which burned the top of Harry's head, resulting in him diving into the snow outside to extinguish it.
Aww. So, this was his first actual attempted murder. Everything else just seemed playful or actually pretty mean.
Aww.
Marv went outside and found an open window.
Don't do it, man. Just take your shoeless ass home.
Harry followed Kevin's voice through the house and through a doorway, where he ran face first into a sheet of plastic coated in glue, where a fan blew feathers into his face.
And we're back to cutesy. Maybe they tripped these things in the wrong order.
Yeah, maybe Kevin just hadn't ironed out the kinks yet,
Yeah, you think that's it? I mean, Michael Myers just, nailed that shit first try. Maybe Kevin's more of a gifted kid, and Michael is more of, a prodigy.
You mean Prodigy?
No, I have a drink, man. I'm good.
Marv climbed through the window and placed his bare foot directly onto several glass ornaments at the base of the window.
Oh, I knew it. I don't want to do this. Foot trauma means Cody trauma. You gotta stop this shit.
The wet bandits reunited and ran toward the staircase by the front door, but stepped directly onto several Hot Wheels toys scattered across the floor, knocking them to the ground.
Those are collector's items, you little dildo.
You upset?
Hell yeah, I'm mad. Do you know what those things could be worth nowadays? More than back then, at the very least.
Alright, so just to keep score, I'm pretty sure that the only things you've been just flat out angry about since we started the show is 1, killing dogs, and 2, letting people step on Hot Wheels.
Yeah. What's your point?
Just making sure.
Cool.
When they got up and made their way to the stairs, Kevin let loose gallon paint buckets he had attached to ropes to swing down and bash them in the face.
Alright. And that killed them.
No, the cans weren't full, thankfully, just strong enough to knock them back down the stairs.
Which killed them?
No, they got right back up.
Guess they just built staircases softer back then?
As they regained their footing and made it up the stairs again, Kevin called 911, then ran off, making sure to jump over a tripwire that Harry and Marv neglected to notice, falling to the ground once more.
Oh, I am always looking for tripwires. You ain't catching me lacking.
Updating your sling to keep cool with the nieces, huh?
What? No, you didn't let me finish. You ain't catching me lacking the foresight to check my surroundings for tripwires.
Oh, okay.
Kevin made his way up the stairs to the attic.
Ah, I forgot the McCallister family's makeshift child dungeon. Very nice.
Marv managed to grab a hold of Kevin's leg, preventing his escape.
So I take it the Merv is the Mike?
What do you mean?
He's the one with the reach.
Oh, then, yeah, sure.
And the Harry is the me, because he couldn't reach.
Sure, buddy.
Kevin then produced his brother Buzz's tarantula and placed it on Marv's face, causing him to let go of the boy and allow his escape.
He's afraid of spiders?
I assume so, given that he saw a spider and was all like, ah!
That is compelling evidence.
Alright, so yeah, let's get back.
So this kid just had a spider waiting in the wings in case he needed Mike to let go of him?
Marv.
Same thing. Dude just had a spider ready to enter stage left and drag its junk around?
That is a strange description of what spiders do, but essentially yes.
I've tried teaching my cats to attack intruders, but this is next level.
Kevin had designed a makeshift zip line out of some rope and a set of bike handlebars. Riding from the attic to his treehouse, he taunted the two bandits.
I'm going to keep that in mind for my zip line.
Where are you going to put a zip line?
In my window?
To where?
The ground, Mike.
You live in a townhouse. Your front yard is a parking lot.
Yeah, and it will go to my backyard, obviously.
You spend all of your time in the basement. Why would you need a zip line to get to the ground?
In case of bandits, if the training my cats thing doesn't work out.
Would you just leave the cats behind then, or?
No, I have made them all parachutes. And just real quick, I love my cats. I made them parachutes. For them. I made parachutes for them. I didn't make them into parachutes, for clarification. PETA.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say, oh no, he turned his cats into parachutes.
I wouldn't.
I know.
Harry and Marv attempted to slide along the zip line as well.
With what? Did Kevin send the handlebars back? Idiot-ass kid. He don't got shit on my boy Andy Barclay.
No, they had nothing, so they attempted to climb across.
Well, why didn't you include...
Why didn't you include that in your narration? Because you interrupted me. Jesus.
Say it, don't spray it.
However, Kevin used a pair of hedge clippers to cut the line when they were halfway through, sending them falling to the ground below.
And I now know, thanks to the Tony Hawk slander I still haven't forgiven you for, that a fall of that height cannot make you be dead.
You're really not letting that Tony Hawk thing go, are you? I didn't even say anything bad about him.
This is the first time I've mentioned it since then. I don't know what you're talking about.
The first time you've mentioned it on the show. You've texted me about it 6 times since we recorded it, including today, which probably should have been evidence that I needed to deduce that you were drinking.
Hashtag Hawk Squad.
Is that a thing?
I'm trying to make it one. Tony Hawk, when you listen to this episode, hit me up, dude. I was gonna go with hashtag Hawk Squawk, but I wasn't sure if people would know that I was using squawk instead of squad.
Kevin ran, leading the wet bandits to a neighbor's house that they had already hit, where they had the boy cornered before being knocked out with a shovel by a resident of the house.
Leading them to a pissed off dude with a shovel is the coolest trap yet.
It had turned out that the address of this house was the one Kevin gave to the police, allowing himself to escape and have his exploits left out of the local media, at least until he was caught decades later.
Oh, this little bastard is a schemer.
Schemer.
A schemer?
Schemer.
Schemer.
Schemer. He schemes.
Schemer. He's still learning to drop bodies, but he's got gumption.
What's gumption?
It's what Forrest had.
Oh.
Really simple, Mike.
Kevin then returned home and quickly cleaned up his house, eliminating any trace of his traps or the presence of the wet bandits. He then set out cookies for Santa and went to bed.
What kind of food would you want left out for you if you were Santa?
Didn't we already do a food question?
You expect me to remember that?
Actually, no.
When Kevin awoke on Christmas morning, the house was silent, but soon his mother came to embrace him, none the wiser, assuming Kevin had merely sat around waiting for his family to come home.
How did he clean up the tar on the stairs?
I'm not sure.
Like, I can't even drop a bowl without Sarah finding shards of it for 3 weeks. And when I clean things, I try my best.
Did you try just, picking the pieces up?
I said my best, Mike, not the best.
As the rest of his family arrived and nobody had any suspicion, Kevin realized the power he had over people. This idea began to root itself within his head, and it would grow into an obsession with playing others like a puppet.
Oh. Like when you try to make me look silly on your little show.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
Following this, another incident occurred in which Kevin wandered onto the wrong plane in the airport during another Christmas vacation. He spent the holiday in New York by himself.
If it happens twice, it's a pattern. They were absolutely trying to get rid of this little weirdo.
He once again foiled an attempt by the wet bandits to rob a toy store.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe this little weirdo was attempting to stalk these two honest bandits.
You feel bad for the bandits?
I mean, seems like they've been failed by society, honestly. In and out of prison, all that yada yada.
Did you just say yada yada to your own point?
Yeah, I don't know. If we rehabilitated them, then we'd be good. And look at the damage they caused compared to the Eve-Iscerstor. They tried to steal some toys. He butchered dozens of people.
During this trip, he met and became acquainted with future President Donald Trump.
Wait. Future president?
I mean, in the context of the story, he hadn't become president yet.
Oh, thank God. I was getting all sweaty.
You've been all sweaty since I got here, but yeah, I mean, it's still a possibility, but,
It is?
Upon being caught, McCallister asked for Trump to show a sign of support, hoping it would result in a pardon or movement to get him freed. However, when asked, Trump's statement simply consisted of the sentence, "I don't know him."
Damn. He did the thing that he does with everyone he knows when they get in trouble. That's crazy.
After the events with the Wet Bandits, Kevin began to attempt living a normal life, but eventually grew up to open a home security company.
That's frightening.
Throughout his career as a secret serial killer, Kevin managed to rack up dozens of victims, all caught in elaborate traps.
And nobody was like, hey, the trap kid did it.
Like I said, he covered his tracks and used the money from his security company, as well as his family's fortune to keep things hush hush.
Damn. All my family gave me was an in with God, and quite frankly, it has not taken.
As this story is ongoing, Kevin currently awaits trial, though the odds seem not to be in his favor.
Do his parents still have money?
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
The Wet Bandits, though they initially retired to normal life, have elected to commit minor offenses to stay in prison as to not tempt fate, feeling safer behind bars than out in the open at the mercy of their tormentor.
Yo, but what if Kevin? Kevin?
Yes, Kevin.
But what if Kevin does end up being sent to jail before their sentence is up? He'll be all like, I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me.
Yeah, giving him the old Rorschach.
Ah, shit, I thought that was a cool line I thought of.
And this is our last segment of the show, where usually I'd ask Cody about his thoughts on the events we spoke about today, but we're not doing that today. Instead, we're sharing an announcement.
Oh, no.
This episode serves as the finale of Season 1 of Real Strange Tales. We're very excited at the enthusiasm the channel has received since we started this.
Wait, does this mean I'm fired?
What? No, we're just taking a little break from RST to try out some new things, give us time to research new cases, and, well, to improve the quality of our content overall.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
So make sure you throw us a like, subscribe, leave a comment about cases you'd like to see in Season 2.
Hell yeah. What case are we talking about next week?
Did you listen to a word I said?
Why?
Alright, okay, whatever. When we do come back, we'll be talking about the return of Andy Barkley. You happy? We love you. Thank you for joining us. We hope your holidays are magical and that you don't encounter Kevin McCallister. Also, Happy New Year. Cody.
Keep it real.
And keep it strange.
What case are we talking about next week?